two chapters today, and that would be The Unknowable Room and After the Burial. Now, I don't have a really coherent discussion over these two chapters. Instead, what I want to do is take some time and actually slow down. It is a mistake to get caught up in the action that we're sort of building up to and get swept away. In doing that, we miss a lot of things that we should take time to consider. So I think that's sort of what I want to do. Just take a breath, relax, figure things out. Because that's how we open this set of chapters, is with Harry, Hermione, and Ron figuring out that Crabbe and Goyle are using Polyjuice Potion to look like students that they are not, in order to play lookout for Malfoy. And it is only in a moment of calm that this, well, relative calm, that this actually occurs. So I think that's something that we just need to take a moment and do ourselves. To start, Hermione's prejudices are showing. Well, maybe not so much prejudices as biases. That is to say that Hermione, now that she and Ron are talking again, is very, very willing to help generally both boys with their homework, but most notably in this set of chapters, Ron with his homework, as she's fixing all his spelling, which I'm surprised he didn't notice was going weird, and cleaning ink off his assignment. Yet she is utterly not willing to help Harry beyond telling him he needs to appeal to Slughorn's greater nature to get this memory from him. She isn't willing to do anything beyond that. For somebody who, when she heard about Horcruxes, went just scouring the library at a question about what a word is, she is utterly unwilling to assist in this moment. And I'm not sure why. But it is this moment that we're seeing here where she is saying, like, stop looking for Draco and get the memory. Cool, excellent. Any assistance you can provide. Because in truth, the idea to use the Felix is actually Ron's. And not either Harry or Hermione's. So that is something that we need to be concerned about, is Hermione's suddenness to assist in the mundane things, but this tendency to ignore the question of greater things. Is this simply a very notable facet of her character, that she is more academically inclined than actively inclined? Next is a question of both Ron and Hermione's utter refusal from the beginning to go to Hagrid's funeral for Aragog. Harry at least considers it because he can see that Hagrid was very, very upset about this. You can see that Hagrid actually cried while he was writing the note. So the fact that both Ron and Hermione downright refuse to go when Hagrid is in need of somebody, that's a concern. Because, again, it comes across as making this choice of the comfort and assistance of a person in need, and saying it's not worth it. Most notably, Hermione says it's not worth the detention. And Harry's gone out for detentions for a lot lesser concerning things, I think. Consider his pride in the first book, where he quite literally almost got caught going to have a duel with Draco Malfoy. The fact that they're saying a friend who has been very forgiving of their choices to not continue his class for the lack of visits and things like this, who has been willing to share information with them even if he knows it's not necessarily something that he should be sharing. It's concerning that they're both so willing to walk away and convince Harry to walk away too. And that they're actually downright alarmed when Harry makes the decision with the Felix to go and visit Hagrid and be with him in this moment. I'm not sure what this says about them, but I'm not sure it's a positive thing. Moaning Myrtle and Draco Malfoy, which, rereading, we know it's Draco Malfoy that Moaning Myrtle's referring to. But this is a moment that Harry and Ron should question a lot more. And they don't. And again, Harry starts questioning it. But this is a position where they've all been in before, this utter outcast that everyone is angry at and no one likes. Hermione very early on in her first year, Harry periodically throughout his schooling, most notably of course in second year. Ron with his questionable Quidditch skills and utter prattness when jealousy rears its ugly head. All of these students should be the type of people who are showing some obvious concern for somebody who deeply connects to Moaning Myrtle, because Moaning Myrtle died having been this bullied little child. So the fact that she's found kinship with somebody should ring some bells for these kids. Even if it's not directly their concern, it should be someone's. Someone more than Moaning Myrtle. Along with it, there have been a couple points throughout this book where all Rowling tells us is that the trio, and sometimes more than the trio, Ginny will join in, heap abuse on different people. I know it tends to happen, and I know you do have to take your anger and annoyance out. But it's a little concerning the sheer number of times it's happening with this trio in the books. It makes me a little nervous. But I think that's the point, is in these moments where we're seeing the deeply flawed side of them, can they overcome these things and do the right thing in the end? And I think that then becomes the overarching question with this set of chapters about doing the right thing. The entire chapter of After the Burial really is Harry doing the right thing to get where he needs to go, with the Felix telling him what the right thing is. But it's also the argument he actually makes with Slughorn about giving up the memory of what is the right thing to do in this moment. Is it to save your own skin? Is it to feel bad for yourself? Is it to own up to something that was terrible, that you made a choice to do or say that got people hurt? And the fact that Harry really does focus on this moment, talking about his parents doing the right thing for their child, in giving up their own lives so that he could survive, or at least have a chance of surviving. He knows on the surface this idea right now. He knows how to pay lip service to this. And in a lot of ways he has done the right thing in the past. Actively done the right thing. And he's asking other people to do that too. He's asking Slughorn to do the right thing in this moment. And not just pay lip service to it or not pay lip service to it. But to actively make a choice to right the wrong that he had done. And I say lip service in this moment because the next video will have to discuss Harry's choice to use a spell on his enemy that he does not know what it does until it is too late. And that becomes a catalyst for making choices in the future and making the right choice and doing the right thing. So the fact that he recognizes it now, but makes a choice to the contrary in the future, tells us that Harry too makes mistakes, that all our characters do. But also what he's saying to Slughorn in this moment is those mistakes are not permanent, that we can overcome them and we can make up for them. And I think that's key. So in these moments where we have to slow down, we have to ask ourselves some really critical questions, not only about these characters, but about ourselves. And one of those big questions is, am I doing the right thing? Or am I offering lip service to it? And that's a scary question for us to ask ourselves. It's not something we're ever going to want to face and admit that we're not doing the right thing. But it's going to be key. And we can make mistakes, and we will make mistakes, but we can make up for them too. Okay, I'm going to keep reading, and I hope you do too. See you next time.